All right, so these are the directions to your worksheet for completion of your worksheet. We're working with nouns right now, singular and plural nouns. Now, nouns basically name people, places, animals, and things, such as a dog. A dog is a noun, an apple, boy. These are singular nouns, they're just one. So nouns can be singular, one, or plural, more than one. We put a or an in front of many singular nouns. A and an have the same meaning. They mean one. We use and when a word begins with the vowels A, E, I, and O, such as an apple, an egg, an ice cream, an orange. We use an when a word begins with U and has the vowel sound. For example, an umbrella, an uncle. But we use a when a word begins with a vowel U and sounds like a Y, like a university, a united country, a unit. We also use an when a word begins with a silent H, like an hour, an honest man, an honorable person. But we use a when the H is not silent, such as a house, a horse, a hat. We use a when a word begins with the consonant sounds B, C, D, F, K, L, T, W, Y, and so forth, such as a book, a teacher, a country, a cat, a flower. So for practice one, you're going to put a or an before the word. For example, a table. What about ear? Well, ear begins with a vowel. It begins with a vowel. Ear begins with a vowel, so it's going to get an. So it'll be an ear. So you do that for all of these from 1 through 16, but number 1, and I just did number 2 for you as well. 1B is the plural nouns. So they're nouns with more than one, like a boy, boys. It's more than one boy. It gets the S at the end. A man, men. If you notice, man and men are spelled differently. So sometimes you have to change the spelling of nouns to indicate that they're singular or plural. So regular plural nouns, for most consonants, you just add an S at the end. Like a book becomes books. A car, cars. A teacher, teachers. Now, when the end of the consonants S, double S, SH, CH, or X, we add an ES to the end, such as a bus, buses, a dress, dresses, a dish, dishes, a watch, watches, a box, boxes. Now, like I said, these are regular plural nouns, but when they end with a Y, sometimes you have to drop the Y and you add the IES, such as a baby becomes babies. A country becomes countries. One country, two countries. Sometimes you have a Y at the end, you add the S, such as a boy becomes boys. If it ends in an F or an FE, you change the F to VES, such as a knife becomes knives. A life becomes lives. One life, two lives. Now we move on to the irregular plural nouns. For example, you may have a man, but you change the spelling of man and it becomes men. A woman becomes women. A child becomes children. A tooth becomes teeth. A foot, feet. A mouse, mice. A sheep, and it doesn't change, it just stays a sheep, I just don't have the A anymore. A fish, one fish, many fish. Sometimes you have a noun that just doesn't change the spelling, but you just don't add the A or an and to make it plural. You just remove that and it becomes plural. In practice 2, you got to give the plural. So, for example, you look at number 1, key becomes keys. That one ends in a Y and just gets an S at the end. But what about child? How do we change that to a plural? Well, we can look at our chart. A child becomes children. So for number 2, you're going to change it to children. So that's what you're going to do from 1 through 20 here. So you're going to look at your charts to make sure you know which is the plural form. For practice 3, you read the words in the list and write the plural form of them in the correct column. Such as, if you look at chair, you just add an S to it, and you put it in that column. Child becomes children. Class ends in double S, so if you look at your chart again, go back up to your guide. If it ends in double S, you just add ES, and you put that in the right column, ES. Lady ends in Y. Go to your chart. What do you do when it ends in Y? You drop the Y and you add IES. So then lady becomes ladies, and it goes in that column. What about the word wolf? Well, wolf ends in F, so you go up to your chart. Where's the F? If it ends in an F, you change the F to a VES, and wolf becomes wolves. Put it in that column. So that's what you're going to do with the remainder of this chart and all the words in it. Remember to use your guide. That'll get you through any of the words that you may not know. And you'll always be able to reference that. Complete this worksheet however the best you may, and then submit it to get full credit. If you have any questions, make sure you add it in on the stream on my Google Class, okay? Or you can just message me. Thank you.